हिसाब से 17.1% था और 18-19 के दौरान 23% हो गया है। अब ये 23% 27% तक बढ़ाने की हमारी कार्य योजना है। एससी के शैक्षिक सशक्तिकरण के लिए ये सबसे बड़ी योजना है और इस योजना के माध्यम से हम कक्षा 11 से लेकर के उच्च शिक्षा प्राप्त करने वाले 60 लाख छात्रों को जो छात्रवृत्ति दे रहे हैं वो इसमें निरंतर बढ़ोतरी होती रहेगी और 5 साल बाद जाकर के लगभग ये संख्या 4 करोड़ होने की संभावना है। और इसमें हम सबसे गरीब घरों के छात्रों को नामांकित करने का प्रयास करेंगे। इन घरों में 10वीं पास करने के बाद जो स्कूल छोड़ देते हैं लोग बच्चे, उनको स्कूल में लाने की कोशिश करेंगे। अगले 5 वर्षों में लगभग 1,36,00,000 ऐसे गरीबतम बच्चों को हम शिक्षा देने की कोशिश करेंगे और उनको स्कूलों कॉलेजों में प्रवेश दिलाने की कोशिश करेंगे। उम्मीद है कि ये 1,36,00,000 छात्र इसका लाभ ले पाएंगे। छात्रवृत्ति के लिए जो प्रक्रिया है उसको सरल बनाया जा रहा है और इसमें कहीं कोई चूक होने की गुंजाइश नहीं रहेगी। 60% की केंद्रीय हिस्सेदारी का भुगतान सीधे छात्रों के खातों में किया जाएगा। समय पर भुगतान हो इसकी चिंता की जाएगी, सही भुगतान हो इसकी चिंता की जाएगी। इस छात्रवृत्ति योजना के तहत अगले 5 वर्षों के दौरान जैसा मैंने बताया लगभग 59,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए जाएंगे। विषय खत्म।
प्रेजेंटेशन 5 ही स्लाइड्स है।
Today's cabinet decision brings transformatory changes in a very significant scheme which has been classified as a core of core schemes by Niti Aayog. It is a core of core scheme. Next slide, please. It is a core of core scheme because it is almost the mainstay for the poorest SC students studying in the higher education system. Out of the 90 lakh students who are currently in the higher education system, about 60 lakhs, that is 2/3 of the students are dependent on this scholarship. This scholarship has got history since 1944 and it has succeeded enormously in improving the gross enrollment ratio in the higher education up to 23% from 6%. This scholarship covers all the costs including the monthly maintenance allowance and the tuition fee. Next, please. So the cabinet's decision was to making this not only effective but also efficient. Primarily 5 points are there in the cabinet decision. Firstly, it should cover the poorest households. The focus is to go to the poorest households who could not join the higher educational institutions and then somehow get them back into the higher education stream. Second thing is that it ordered a simplification of process, how we can reduce the delays, make it very simple for the students to access the financial assistance. Third aspect is how we can increase the enrollment further. And then fourth aspect is higher central government investments. Our Honorable Minister has already pointed this out. And then finally, it also provided for a very robust monitoring system so that there are no frauds or any leakages in this system. Next, please. I'll briefly go over the coverage issue. As you know that the 2/3 of the scheduled caste students who are having annual income, household annual income of less than 2.5 lakhs are already in this scheme. But the cabinet said that you must really look for those students who are the poorest, who could not come to the higher education system because of financial difficulties, and then run a campaign, एक अभियान चलाना चाहिए, तो ताकि all of them can come into the higher education system. So this is one major improvement that the cabinet has decided. We estimate that with this decision, about 1.36 crores of people who otherwise would have dropped out of the system would be brought back into the higher education system, either through colleges or through the skill development institutions. On the whole, our minister has mentioned that about 4 crore students in the next 5 years, this year included, benefited by this scheme. Next, please. Simplification is a very important underlying feature of the reform that the cabinet has approved. The 60% of the central government share will now go directly into the accounts of the students. Earlier, it used to go through a very long process of sending it to the state sending it to district to the institution. So now the process is completely simplified, and from the account to the account directly from the RBI account of the Government of India, the amount will reach the student. And it will reach on specific time schedules. There will be no delay. This is again a fundamental feature that if a date is fixed on that date, by that date, everybody must get their fellowship, whoever is eligible. Then, next please. So the investments have been substantially increased. Our minister has mentioned that this is almost a 5-fold increase in the government's commitment for this crucial program. So the total investment will be in the order of 59,048 crores, of which the central government share will be 35,000. Up to in the next 6 years, up to 25-26. So therefore, the point that we should note is that the share of the Government of India has substantially increased, and therefore we will be in a position to look at the scheme for more systematization, for simplification and greater transparency. Next please. The impact will be very clear. We assume that a lot of poorest households will get this benefit, and they'll come into the higher education system. And as a result, we expect that the gap between the national average and the average gross enrollment ratio in SCs will be narrowed down. And then in the next 5 years, they'll catch up with the national average, and that's going to be a big milestone in the history of this country. And we hope that this scheme will achieve this aim. The quality of the education is one very important element. The cabinet has ordered that only institutions which are maintaining educational standards shall be in this scheme, and all the institutions who are admitting scheduled caste students, they should be encouraged to come under the accreditation by NAC or NBA before 2024-25. So they have given 4 years time for them to get accredited. So this is a very clear direction that the cabinet has given, that we will only encourage educational excellence and educational quality. There is also a huge accountability matter that has been brought in. So the social audits have been mandated for all this for all the scholarship schemes. That means there will be community audit of whether these funds have reached, whether they have reached well, whether the students have used it, are there any leakages, are there any problems. So all these things will come through a social audit process, and this will help in improving this scheme substantially. So therefore, there is a lot more than a huge increase in the financial burden, financial investment from the side of the central government. There's going to be marked transformatory change in the way that the scheme is implemented for the benefit of this poorest segment of the society. Thank you.
Questions? बताइए.
I think just please use mic.
तो ये नाम, चारों संस्थाओं का नाम, नॉमेनक्लेचर भी बदल जाएगा और फिर वो एनएफडीसी कहलाएगा.
नहीं एनएफडीसी ही कहलाया जाएगा.
वो चारों के नाम बदल.
हाँ
डिपार्टमेंट्स अपने बनते हैं.
हाँ वो तो हाँ.
जैसे बच्चों के लिए कुछ मंत्री से चिल्ड्रन
वो बनती रहेगी। हाँ, एक जगह आने से, जैसे मैंने कहा कि गवर्नेंस ज़्यादा बढ़ेगा अच्छा, और गवर्नमेंट जो है बहुत, हर संस्था एक बार अलग होती है तो उसकी अलग अलग एस्टेब्लिशमेंट बहुत होती है, तो उसके जगह एक जगह आएंगे, क्रिएटिव टीम्स का पूल हो जाएगा और अच्छी निर्माण होगा, ये उसकी कल्पना है।
26.
दैनिक भास्कर से मुकेश कौशिक हूँ मैं, 26 नंबर दिस साइड। मेरा सवाल भी इसी विषय पर है कि जब अलग अलग आपने कहा कि ये चारों संस्थाएं अलग अलग अपने काम जो कर रही थी वो करती रहेंगी, तो जो इनके 4 डायरेक्टर्स हैं अलग अलग, क्या उनका एक ही लीडर होगा या इनका
एक
ग्रुप
लीडर
बदलेगा?
होगा। देखो, ये समझना चाहिए, फिल्म्स डिवीजन हम जब देखते थे सालों से, हर सप्ताह सभी थिएटर में फिल्म दिखता था, वो धीरे धीरे कम होता गया। चिल्ड्रन फिल्म सोसाइटी पहले बहुत फिल्में निर्माण करती थी, धीरे धीरे कम होता गया। तो इसलिए इसके सुधार के लिए और इसको पुनरुज्जीवित एक तरह से करने के लिए ये कदम उठाया गया है, ताकि काम भी सभी हो लेकिन कार्यक्षमता से हो और ज़्यादा उत्पादक हो।
And while doing this integration, FTII you have kept away from this
नहीं,
integration
FTII
process.
इसका संबंध नहीं, वो शिक्षा संस्थान है, वो उसका हिस्सा नहीं है।
37.
अभी स्टूडेंट वेलफेयर और स्कॉलरशिप की आप लोगों ने बात की। ममता जी ने ऐलान किया है कि चुनाव से पहले मदरसे के बच्चों को और स्कूली बच्चों के खाते में सीधे 10,000 रुपये ट्रांसफर करेगी।
नहीं, ऐसा है, अभी आपको पता है यहाँ का नियम, आज कैबिनेट का ब्रीफिंग होता है, तो आज अभी केवल कैबिनेट में जो निर्णय हुए उसका बालिंग होता है। बाद में मैं आपको कभी भी मिलता ही हूँ, तो आइए जरूर, सारी कमेंट्स दूंगा।
Any more question? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, friends.
हाँ, क्या हो रहा है? हाँ, सवाल हाँ सवाल हाँ सवाल हाँ सवाल